Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Kaylin and today I wanted to do another video of 10 ideas of things to do instead of spending money. And yeah, I'm having a bit of a mad day. The girls are out of school early today because they have an open day for like younger kids that will be joining the school, and we're going to go swimming, which is why I look like I do. And I realised after dropping the girls off at school that my daughter had forgotten a costume she needed, so I had to drop that down. So I made myself a latte to take with me in the car and then didn't bring it. So I'm having a kind of strange day where I feel like I haven't actually got anything done yet. But I thought I'd just take a few minutes to talk to you and share some more ideas. So number one is to do something in nature that you used to do as a kid and that you've kind of forgotten about, or you feel like you've outgrown as an adult, but it kind of reconnects you to nature. So for example, skim stones, or like climb on rocks, jump across stepping stones, or you could climb a tree. Just be careful if you do that one. And I know that Michael Jackson, I think, said that whenever he wrote songs, he used to sit in this specific tree on his property, and that was where kind of inspiration struck. So it might be interesting to kind of change up your routine and do something childlike and playful and see how it inspires you, or if it kind of sparks any sort of creativity. Number two is to read a self-improvement book, and this doesn't have to be in a kind of punitive way. There are so many books out there to do with like ways to improve yourself and kind of get in touch with your emotions and to heal like wounds from the past, and also just self-improvement in terms of things like changing up your routine, ways to be more productive, and there's just so many books out there, like, and you can almost like do self-therapy through some of them because it teaches you things that you probably wouldn't even learn in a counselling session. And there have been so many things that I have got from books over the years that have helped me to kind of understand myself better and have more self-awareness and kind of to try to grow and to kind of mature as a person as well. Number three is if you feel the impulse to go out and buy something, you could buy something for someone else on a small scale and redirect into a positive thing. So for example, you could buy a stranger's coffee for them, and there are places like in Belfast where you can do that. There's a little bakery that I know of where you can buy a coffee for a stranger and just leave the voucher there for them to use, and then someone can come in and just pick one up. Actually, there's a couple of places that do that now. You could donate to a worthy cause, or even just if you're food shopping, grab a couple of extra things and put it in the trolley for the food bank donations. There's so many little ways that you can kind of do something kind for somebody else, and maybe it will help with you overcoming the urge to spend, or feeling like you are directing your money into something worthwhile instead. Number four is to try to be kind to yourself and give yourself compliments. Like, write down your best qualities, and it might feel unnatural doing this for some people, but I think it's a really good way to practice like treating yourself like you're a friend rather than focusing on the negatives. And it can be easier sometimes to list the negative things about ourselves, but if you sit and write down the things that you actually think are good things about yourself, it really boosts your self-esteem, and it's just a positive activity to do that kind of brightens up your day. Number five is to brainstorm your goals for next year, because it's approaching the end of the year, and I know a lot of people kind of think of that as a time to come up with goals for next year, and I don't really like goals in terms of things like I don't make promises to myself that I'm going to like give up sweets or like lose weight in the new year. It's more like I like to have little goals of projects and things because it keeps me motivated, and I just like to have things to look forward to doing in the new year. So just write down as many things as you can think of, and it'll help you figure out your priorities for the new year and the kind of year that you would like to have. Number six is to visit a farmer's market, but not necessarily to buy anything, or if you do buy something, maybe allow yourself one item but no more than that, because Quite often the products at markets like that can be very expensive, but they are fresh and local, and it's just a nice environment to be in, even if you don't spend any money. Just the like scents and the sounds and just like having a look around and seeing all of the interesting things there, it just gives you inspiration, and it's a nice kind of calm activity to do. Number 7 is to ask someone in your life questions you know that you might like have wished that you would later on if they weren't here. That might sound kind of morbid, but I was thinking about this recently and how with my grandparents, for example, there are questions I wish I had asked them and now I can't because they're not here anymore, and it would be interesting to know how they would have answered them. Some of the questions they might not have been able to answer properly anyway, because maybe they didn't even know the answers, but just while you have the people that you care about around you, it could be nice to ask them kind of like interview style questions on things, because then you'll just get to know more, and it will help you kind of create more of a connection with them, and then you won't have regrets later on that you didn't ask certain things that you wanted to know. Number 8 is to go rock pooling, and I know that this one probably only applies to people who live within driving distance of a beach, but it's something I like to do with my kids, and you don't even need, like, we've had times when we have had nets that we've picked up from little like seaside shops, but you don't even need a net. You can just kind of have a look and see what you find, and it can just be interesting to see what wildlife there is to be found there. My kids love looking around in rock pools, and they're so excited if we ever find a crab or anything like that. It's just like kind of exciting when you find something that's actually alive in it. And if you don't have anything like that near where you live, you could just go to any sort of place with water. Like you could play, like my kids and I used to always play poo sticks when they were younger, and they still sometimes do, where you throw a twig in one side of a river and kind of race them to see whose comes out first on the other side. So you can do simple things like that near water as well. Or if you live near a lake or a pond, you can also go and see what wildlife that you spot there, because they have things like there's a place called Castle Espy in Northern Ireland, and they have like a dipping pool where basically like you can go and look for different insects and things like that live in the water, and they have like pond skaters and things, and then you have to identify them while you're there, and you could create something like that for yourself and see how many different like creatures you can identify in the water. Number 9 is to teach yourself some card games that you don't already know, because I feel like the only card games I know are solitaire and kids card games that I would play with my kids. Like I don't actually know any adults card games, or if I've ever played them I can't remember the rules. So it might be a good idea to teach yourself them while you're on your own, or you have the time to do it and make sense of the rules, and then you could suggest playing it with a friend sometime in the future or with a group of people, and you will already know what you're doing. Number 10 is to have a phone-free day, which I really want to do soon, and I think I am going to like actually schedule it in as a proper plan, because otherwise I'll just kind of keep putting it off. But just put your phone out of reach for a day and see how it changes your mood, how it increases your productivity. See like the things that you end up doing instead of using your phone. It will show you just like how much you get sucked in by it, or whether or not you are kind of addicted to it. It's just really eye-opening, and it helps you to rediscover the things that you don't normally have time for, because you just get lost in your phone, and it can be hugely distracting. And I think just putting it aside for a day and kind of getting back to doing simpler things, it's just like a nice idea, and you can journal about it after and see what you kind of discover about yourself and how you feel that day compared with if you were just using it like you normally would. I hope these tips are helpful to someone, and thank you for watching, and hi to any subscribers. Thanks for subscribing, and I will make another video soon. Bye. And I just decided to add in a few clips at the end of what we did over the weekend, because I planned to put up a video talking about the kind of low cost activities we did last weekend, because I thought that we would have more of them to video. But because I ended up sort of being not well and staying at home on Sunday, we didn't do just as much. So I'm just going to share what we did on Saturday, and it was a really nice day. So we started the weekend with making some very over-the-top top hats. We made them the normal way, and then I let the girls add loads of sprinkles to them, and they were really good. They were like big versions, and they're all gone now pretty much. And I made some pizza. We had pizza and a movie and watched Nativity, and then we went to the Mac and the girls went to their workshop, and I sat in a little nook in the cafe with Holly and nice lighting and got my book finished and ready to publish. And then we called into the Wartime Museum in Belfast, and they had some Christmas crafts to do. And then they had a tombola, and the kids won some dominoes and pickup sticks. We had a wee look around, and the people that worked there were so friendly, and they gave out the girls, like, I think it was 2 ounces of sweets in a little paper bag, like kids would have had during the war. And they had wartime Christmas music playing, and it was just a lovely atmosphere. And yeah, thanks for joining us, and I will see you soon. Bye.